Greetings and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are just about ready to get started up in this. My apologies for running a tad bit late. We were figuring out some details, but rest assured it has been taken care of. Oh my gosh, here we are. All of you beautiful people, welcome to the official Rockfish Games stream. The reveal of EVERSPACE 2 and all the little components that come with it. We had another nice little drop today regarding combat AI. We talked a little bit about space critters, a couple other details. We're going to be covering all of that stuff just in case you missed it. Also, I just realized I actually pulled up the wrong version here. So 1 second. Oh my goodness. Everybody hates me now. Let's try this again. There we go. That's a little bit better. And we're going to be diving right into this. We're going to be talking about what EVERSPACE 2 has to offer, including all of the special little features and nuances that we are planning on doing. I didn't even introduce myself. My goodness. My name is Eric Schrader. I'm the community ambassador for Rockfish Games. So if you're a part of this community, you're awesome. Thank you for being here. You make my job so easy. It's kind of insane. We've got several wonderful people in the chats. And when I say chats, I mean we are multi-streaming this to several different locations. If you are over on Steam, if you're on the EVERSPACE 1 homepage, we're broadcasting there. Hello, hi, welcome. If you want to join the chat, there's a link right down here that says View Broadcasting Source. You click on that button to pop you out into a separate window with the chat box. You can dive in right there to start chatting to me right now. You can also find us over at youtube.com/rockfishgames. We're watching that chat. I see Icefire122 saying, "Evening, everybody." Good evening, fair sir. And we also are streaming over at Twitch, which we've already got a nice little audience there. So hello, everybody over there as well. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, what have you, this is the space to do so. We do these streams for you so that you can be in the loop, knowing what we are up to, as well as giving you demonstrations of the gameplay itself. I know a lot of people still have a lot of questions, so ask away. We're not going to shy away from those, and we want to make sure that your understanding of what we're trying to do is just, it's fluid, right? So let's go ahead and dive in. For those of you who don't know anything about EVERSPACE 2, this is an arcadey space shooter, looter shooter, that is in an open world RPG setting. So this is very different from the original EVERSPACE. The original EVERSPACE is an arcadey space shooter, but with roguelike elements. So whenever you would die, you had to start back over, you had to recollect everything. You did have permanent perks that did help you through the process of replayability. But for some people, it wasn't quite desired. Other people absolutely loved it. We've taken a lot of your feedback, a lot of your criticism through that experience, and are doing everything in our power to make it the best it can possibly be for EVERSPACE 2. And along for that journey, we encourage you to be a part of the development with us. We currently have a Kickstarter for EVERSPACE 2 where you can put your money where your mouth is, put your funding into us, and contribute to the development process to make this game not just ours, but add your little slice of it into the experience. It should be a really good time. We are at about, I think, 11 days left in the Kickstarter, something like that. And we are about 65% done. Some people are starting to freak out about it. You know what? That's fine. If you're freaking out about it, just tell more people. Get them in the loop. Reach out to all of your channels. We're doing the same. We're going to try and kick this thing as hard as we can, push it forward, and we're gonna try and make it happen. All right? That's what we're going to do. So, we are in the hangar bay of EVERSPACE 2. It is known as the home base. A lot of people have already started looking at this going, wait a second, do we get to like customize a base? Is this like something that we get to, is this something really cool, really magical about this experience? The short answer is yes, but we'll reveal a lot more about that whenever we have more to show and more to talk about regarding the home base. For now, the main thing to focus on are these 3 different ships that are sitting in this hangar bay. We have the Sentinel, which is a medium ship class. It looks very different from the original Sentinel in EVERSPACE 1 through the DLC. That is because the ships use a modular-based system. So the engines, the cockpit, and the wings, we showed this off, I think, last week, they're interchangeable. So if you wanted to have that classic look of a Sentinel, let's go ahead and cycle through here really quick. It would look a little bit more like this probably. Still the cockpit and the engines are off, but you get the wings feel for sure. Like this probably looks a little bit more familiar. But there's a lot of different ways that you'll be able to combine different parts of the ship to create an aesthetic look of your desires, as well as have some nice statistical properties to boot. Okay, so besides the Sentinel, we also have the Interceptor, another classic ship from EVERSPACE 1, but this has also been completely revamped, much more detail, thanks to a lot of our partners that we've been working with. We'll talk a little bit more about that, actually, later in this very stream, because it's what our third vlog was all about. How we are taking the models from EVERSPACE 1, but not reusing them, in actuality, we are enhancing, making something even better than what was before. So if you haven't seen that yet, stick around. It's going to be a lovely discussion. Finally, we have the Assault Fighter. This is kind of a combination of both the Interceptor and the Sentinel. It's a completely new ship to the EVERSPACE universe, and it's got some tricks up its sleeves with a weapon overdrive and an EMP generator combined in just one setting. Now, what I'm showing you here is just one class of ship. These are the medium ship classes. These are 3 subclasses of ships that you'll be able to choose from. We also talked about having light fighters. For those familiar with EVERSPACE 1, that's kind of like your scout, of course. And those heavy fighters, which everybody loves that gunship. And we are definitely going to be bringing back in a certain capacity those ships that were so beloved from our first game. Whew, water is delicious. So gameplay-wise, let's go ahead and just launch out with this ship. This is the Sentinel, like I said, and what we've got here is very similar controls to EVERSPACE 1. It's very fluid. It doesn't really operate like a realistic portrayal of space at all. You don't have engines on the bottom or the front or the top of the ship. It looks more like a jet fighter. That's very intentional. That is how we stylized the game. We just want it to look cool. It doesn't have to be scientific for us. In fact, the movement that we have in space, there are inertia dampeners. Again, this is an arcadey space looter shooter. All right? So we wanted to keep you in full control, very precise maneuvers. Those types of elements are intentional with the design that we have in mind here. And it allows you to pull off some pretty nice, crazy feats. More akin to something like a Guardians of the Galaxy or Star Wars type of experience. So let's go ahead and try and take this guy out with our pulse laser. We're going to swap it over to this autocannon, which is very reminiscent of the Gatling gun. Take him out. And then punch this drone as well. Perfect. Well, there's this base right here. Let's go ahead and take out the turrets. Maybe the second turret we'll get a little creative with. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab one of these barrels really quick. And see if we can throw it at him. Oh yeah, that feels good. Physics, ladies and gentlemen. Physics in EVERSPACE 2. We have a grapple mechanic that you can use on your ship to basically pick stuff up in the environment and chuck it at your opponents. It could be a piece of space debris, an explosive barrel. It could be some sort of internal component of a massive ship that you happen to grab and then you pull your way out of, and you're like dangle this cord and you're just like ripping out its fuel supply or something. Lots of little ways that you're going to be able to grapple and throw and operate elements in space, including drones. Maybe we can't do it right now, but perhaps with some upgrades down the line, you'd be able to grab these little boogers right here. Nobody likes drones, right? Grab one of them and just chuck them straight into an asteroid. Just be done with them. Don't have to worry about it anymore. So there's a lot of UI on the screen right now. I'm sure some of you are kind of wondering about that. And I also know that a lot of you are asking questions in chat. We do have Michael, the CEO of Rockfish Games, also looking after you guys. He's going to be answering questions while I'm in these gameplay segments. Rest assured, I will also be taking breaks in between here to answer questions personally as well. So if your questions don't get answered, please don't get worried. Don't get too concerned. We are going to be as thorough as possible, and just be persistent and patient with us. We'll get to it, I promise. All right, so let's go take out this Outlaw Scout. Oh, we're using that pulse laser. Silly us. That's better against shields. Let's talk about items for a second. You can hear my wife vacuuming upstairs. All right, so we have an assortment of tools here that you're going to be able to utilize in EVERSPACE 2. Some of this is reminiscent of EVERSPACE 1. However, we have a lot more that we're branching out with pertaining to our looting mechanics. EVERSPACE 1 was very specific in what you could obtain. It was this pulse laser, that Gatling gun, this beam laser. And when you found those, there were variations to them, but there wasn't a lot of variety pertaining to the various statistics that they had to offer. This was intentional design. As a roguelike, we wanted you to be familiar with what you found, but then also be able to modify that in unique ways to increase its potential. Now here, the variety of each one of these tools is going to get pretty crazy. Diablo in space. This is what I'm going to refer to quite a bit, quite often when I speak about EVERSPACE 2, because each one of these specific elements, each one of these specific tools and modules and consumables, all of these are going to have a lot of varied attributes that can change. And I'll show you an example of that right here as we crack open the side of this asteroid. We're going to pull in this energy core and this heat plating. And what you'll see here is that we have modifiers on these. This one in particular, this is superior plating, and it has a lot more armor to boot. And it also has a modifier underneath there that says minus 21% damage, collision damage. So that means if we run into an object, we will take 21% less usual damage when we collide. That's a pretty nice little tool. We also have this energy core, which adds 16 repair. Repair is in bold. That is a keyword, one of your attributes for your ship. There are going to be 6 different attributes for your ship. Each one has a certain feature or quality about it that enhances unique opportunities for your ship through that process. This would be equivalent to like dexterity, strength, constitution, wisdom, charisma, and I'm missing one, but you get the picture. Like your various attributes, like in a Dungeons and Dragons experience, or even like your special in a Fallout situation. That's what these are going to be modifying. You'll have a lot of ability to look at and manage those different statistics of your ship through our management tab here, which obviously is not done. It's very much a work in progress, as is this whole experience that I'm showing you. But rest assured, you'll be able to tweak and modify and track various attributes to make them as strong as you can possibly make them. You can focus down on specific attributes, bonuses, synergies, all of those types of things. And you'll be doing so through the course of the game with not only your weapons, but through your modules as well. We have our energy core, we have our shield, we have plating, we have sensors, we have thrusters, and we have a cargo unit that can all have unique modifiers that are bound to them that increase your capabilities through the game. Consumables, one-time use items, just like they were in EVERSPACE 1. Secondaries, also pretty similar to EVERSPACE 1. They're very strong, but also they're consumed up when used, but you can refill these. And your primaries, which also very similar to EVERSPACE 1, they are static weapons that use energy that you have, in this case the white bar on the left. The more you fire, the more energy it is consumed. You will also notice that on the left side there is a cyan bar. That is your boosting. Due to popular request, we have separated out boosting and firing into 2 separate pools that you can now manage. There's still a lot that we are tweaking, a lot to balance, so what you're seeing right here, right now, and how long it takes me to boost over to these guys, and how quickly this weapon is draining my energy, don't worry too much about those things. That's going to be tweaked and balanced in time. The main thing is to realize how we are splitting out these different tools for you to be able to have far more control and be able to manage accordingly. On the right, we have red, orange, and blue, which are your hull, your armor, and your shields. Whew! We're also going to grab this stuff from this floating ship, synthetic meat. Ooh. Why kill cattle for meat if you can grow it in a lab? But why have cattle at all then? A great question indeed. So lots of different commodities that you'll be able to sell and possibly smuggle to various stations and strongholds in order to capitalize on various gains. Now this guy, this is an outlaw bomb thrower. He's throwing some things at us, and my goodness, there's also some enemies doing some stuff to us. So we're going to EMP blast these guys, take them out, and then we're going to deal with that bomb thrower. Fire a couple missiles. Oh, that's a outlaw anti-missile drone. Now that he's gone, we can fire missiles. Perfect. Alright, so let's go back here and take out this bomb thrower with his own bombs. So we're going to catch this, and we're just going to say, good night, sir. We also leveled up in the process. This is a great talking point to explain how EVERSPACE 2 is very different from EVERSPACE 1. You are in an RPG setting, right? So you're going to be leveling up. You're going to have different perks and abilities that you'll be choosing from a tech tree of sorts, where you can distinguish your play styles and abilities to your liking, paired with all of this rich equipment that you're finding that has its own unique attributes and special abilities on top of that. And that's even without talking too much about the ship and its customization options. You're going to have many layers of customization. Many layers. So if you want to have a lot of control over what you're doing and how you're doing it, you're going to have much of that with EVERSPACE 2. Now we're going to keep looking through this shipwreck. Let's see, credits, and a beam laser. This will be fun to use. So we've grabbed this beam laser. That feels good. We're going to take out this outlaw madcap, which looks like he got stuck on that debris. Poor guy. I'm not complaining too much. The madcap's actually a unique new enemy type that was added. You'll see that this mine here, let's go ahead and grab this mine, maybe. Oh, nope, it blew up. But whenever you take out an outlaw madcap, they'll actually explode and drop a bunch of mines where they're at, and then their escape pod, they might actually try to get away from you or continue the attack. For that poor fellow, since he was stuck on debris, he didn't really have the opportunity to get anywhere, so we were just able to take him out and grab any loot if he dropped any. I don't even think he did. But we also have a lot of different areas and lots of different collectibles and challenges in each of the locations that you'll be traveling through in EVERSPACE 2. Just popping out into this map real briefly, you'll see that we have a pretty large-scale world that you're going to be going out and exploring. Multiple star systems and sectors, if you will. Well, you'll be traveling to different points. And in this demonstration, we only have 4 areas that you'll be able to see us venture to. But each one of these sites, there are 8 on screen. We are having at the very least, 10 uniquely handcrafted sites that you'll be able to venture to. Some of those which will be in Atmo near certain planets. So if you can do some quick math, that's at least 80 unique handcrafted locations that will be in the full game. That's a lot. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us. We're trying to do our best to make each of the sites unique and interesting. And I'm sure that we'll get a lot of your feedback through the course of the Kickstarter and also through the alpha, the beta, and the early access in order to really refine and make these the best they can possibly be. Okay, so I've been doing a lot of talking. I'm going to jump over here and just see what you guys are asking about. And then we'll jump right back in. So, you guys are great. Michael, also, thank you so much for addressing questions over on YouTube. I see you being a champion. It's awesome. Boost Strafe, you say? It's going to be interesting. Oh, absolutely. Let's see what you guys are talking about on Twitch. I see one question saying, will there be an option for online co-op? We at Rockfish Games, we are a single-player focused company. Our vision is to make EVERSPACE 2 a single-player experience, a rich, meaningful, deep single-player experience. That's our focus, and that's where we're pushing it to be. We don't disagree that co-op couldn't be a really powerful feature, but that would add a lot of additional development time to our process and cost a lot more money. And with where we're at and how we are focused down, a solid single player experience is how we've aligned ourselves. But you never know what can happen in the future. Excellent question. Let's see. Is it fun making behind-the-scenes videos? Absolutely, Caden. It's very enjoyable to be able to share what we've been working on with you guys. It's an absolute pleasure, and we'll be showing a little bit more of that later in the stream. So please stick around. It's great. Talon asks armor, but how does armor work? I guess it doesn't recharge. Can I rebuild it with scrap, or how does it work? Armor, whenever it takes damage, it is separate from your hull, and that it will be repaired independently. So here you see the armor says 94%. That means it's operating still at that high of capacity, and anytime that you take damage when your shield is down, your armor takes it first. Certain types of armor are going to have certain features about them. Maybe they're going to absorb more energy damage. Some of them are going to destroy more, absorb more kinetic damage. Some of them might have other lasting properties, like whenever an opponent's hitting your armor instead of your shield, it might do damage back to them in some capacity. It might recharge your energy faster. It might apply some other property that your hull simply will not have. When your hull reaches 0, you are dead. When your armor reaches 0, it means your hull is vulnerable. Those are the differences. So that's a really great question. Let's see, what else we got? Is there hybrid armor? I am sure that we will have an assortment of different ways that you can customize and synergize with your armor plating. Because it is a module slot in and of itself, you can absolutely guarantee you'll see various rare, exotics, and legendary types of armors that are going to apply some very unique traits to your ship overall. And that's without even touching anything else. So very much so. Are some enemies adapting to your playstyle in combat? We are actually looking at a lot of different options pertaining to the AI of the enemies. This is something that we actually wanted to do in EVERSPACE 1, but we didn't have enough resources or time in order to do so. So now that we are being much more expansive with EVERSPACE 2, it's something that we can push a little bit harder on, and it's absolutely on the table to make AI much more meaningful in how it's engaging you and also trying to get away. So a great question. We'll have more to talk about with the AI a little bit later in the stream, but also in more capacity down the line of development itself. Really good stuff. Also, welcome to Irish Mad Cat with the raid of 4. It's appreciated. Thank you for being here. Hope you guys have a lot of fun with the stream. Please ask your questions. I'm the community ambassador, Eric Schrader for Rockfish Games. We are just having a nice, pleasant time showcasing EVERSPACE 2, answering questions, and just hanging out and being awesome. Good stuff. Can we use armor as a weapon, aka more armor equals battering ram? I think that that would be a really cool attribute to have for armor. Let's keep going. So we have, one of the elements that I was talking about before I started answering your questions is that there's a lot of little challenges and mini games and explorative locations to find. This little guy, this shadow creature, is one of those elements. Whenever we go into the light, he actually turns white. He doesn't like that so much. So what he wants us to do is find another creature while we stay in the shadows. So this is a really, really easy challenge in this area. But as you can see, we just have to stay in the shadows the entire time, behind this big old asteroid over there. Lock in with the other shadow creature, and we get some dark matter. But because we're handcrafting each one of these locations, you'll have some shadow creatures in certain locations where you have a very specific method of navigating a space without going into the light. So definitely look forward to some very interesting maneuvering challenges in the future. There's also going to be like racetracks for maneuvering challenges and speed challenges. So it's not going to just be combat, blow up these guys, blow up 10 of these guys, blow up 100 of these guys. No. We're going to have a lot of different varied obstacles and assortment of games within the game to provide you adequate challenges. Here we have an ancient damage glyph. This is different than the glyphs that were in EVERSPACE 1. EVERSPACE 1, the glyphs were providing a modification to the overarching run itself because it was a roguelike. Now, these glyphs are far more arcadey in that they provide an energy boost, in this case a damage boost, for the duration that you hold onto it. Now, because we were smug, we've already taken out all the enemies, so we can't really use this effectively, but you can at least hear the audio difference of the weapon itself as your damage is powered up. Can you hear it? It's far more beefy. We've got some really strong sound design that we're implementing. In fact, we've grown on it even since the demonstration that you see here. So each of your weapons, each of your tools, they're going to feel really nice, really solid, really fleshed out and impactful whenever you're utilizing them. I want to grab some loot in here, and remember that grapple I was talking about? Let's look at this. We're going to grab hold of this debris. We can actually carry this around with us. We could use this as a shield against enemies, and then when they're not looking, boom, we can throw it at them. The physics will actually affect them. You'll see it over there maybe in a moment, and it'll bounce off of that big piece of debris. Yeah, there we go. So we're having a lot of fun with how you're going to be using this gravity gun in space and everything that comes with that. All right, let's go ahead and change our ship, and then we're going to fly out to another location. I'm going to show you very specifically why EVERSPACE 2 is an open world experience. So here we were just flying the Sentinel. We did put a couple new things on it. We're going to actually take it off, and we are going to move all of our goods that we collected over to our storage. Actually, we also want our beam laser. We'll put the autocannon back on it. And now we're going to change over to the interceptor, and we're going to take all of our stuff back. Perfect. So here's our Sentinel, and we are going to go ahead and launch out with it. Oh, we needed to equip these things. Perfect. There we go. So the Interceptor has a couple different tools. Instead of having an EMP like the Sentinel did, now we have a weapon overdrive. We have a nice energized boost, which throws us forward really quickly. And we also have a teleporter. Now these are all different devices that you choose pertaining to what ship class you have. There is customization in these devices, and we are also not finished with which ships, which subclasses have which devices themselves. So Interceptor might not have the ability to blink near the end of all of this. So now we're in the open world segment. If you guys missed that, I supercharged into hyperdrive. This is super light travel. We are now flying freely in this entire area to go to any point that we desire. Also, hi, hello, welcome. What system requirements will be the same? Will system requirements be the same for EVERSPACE 1? System requirements are going to be increased from EVERSPACE 1, mostly because we're doing a lot more. And there's going to be, like, even the physics that you saw, detail, everything that we are accomplishing, it's going to be boosting things up a bit. Rest assured, we are still looking to treat the game in all capacities for all systems, all players, across all platforms. So even if you are playing on a potato, much like I did with a 7-year-old computer for EVERSPACE 1, I was still able to play it at 60 frames per second with the lowest graphics settings. We are absolutely looking to do that again with EVERSPACE 2. We want to make sure that we have the most ability for everybody out there to do as much as possible. All right. So, that is a really great question. We'll have more details about what those specs look like later in development, since we've only been working on this game for a year and a half. This is just a year and a half of what we've done, and we are scheduled to keep working on this game for another 2 years. If you like what you're seeing, I strongly encourage you guys to check out our Kickstarter, where you can become a part of the development process. This is not something that happens every day. If this is interesting to you and you want to invest in this, give us your feedback, give us your support, and maybe even get a little slice of you into this experience, go check out the Kickstarter right now. It's EVERSPACE 2. Can't miss it. All right, let's keep flying about. And we are going to go over to the sun. There are several different ways to travel. Out here, just randomly, we can just casually move about. As you can see, I can slow down, do some really hard turns. And as we're traveling, we can also just get to where we're going if we want to do that. You can hold to skip. You'll see that on screen right there. We can lock on so we don't even have to do anything with our hands. It just does it for us. But at the same time, there are random things that can occur as you are traveling from location to location. We're trying to see if we can spawn one of those things now, just as an example. Maybe we'll see a unknown signal. Oh, we'll get intercepted. That's fine. So this is just a very brief challenge. The UI of this is going to be completely changing. Maybe even the type of challenge it presents is going to be a little bit more unique. But this is merely just moving your mouse about, following this indicator in order to escape the interception that's being attempted on you. Oh, and here's an unknown signal. Perfect. So let's go ahead and go to the unknown signal. I'm just going to fast travel by holding R. Boom. And there might be something going down here. Or maybe there's just loot to be had. Let's do some quick exploration. Here we go. Nice. Some liquor, some nanofibers. All right. This is good. This is good. Let's see what else we can find. There's probably some resources to be had in this large asteroid over here. Maybe? Maybe not. Maybe it's just a place for ambush. Oh, here we are. Perfect. There's some resources, and here's some enemies. A couple more resources. Now this is the most basic level of mining resources in the game. There will absolutely be some other methods of how you're going to be approaching mining. At least that's what we're planning. So that if you want to get, if you want to have like skill-based mining, that's going to be something that's possible down the line. For now, it's just very arcade-like. You shoot it, you loot it. Done and done. You don't have to think any more about it. Also, I've been using a weapon called the coil gun. It's very reminiscent of the coil gun from EVERSPACE 1. We also have the scatter gun making a return. The nice shotgun in space. I'm quite partial to it myself. Alright, now that we've cleared out this area, we're going to go ahead and fly again. Also, you can see that in this particular area, like, you can actually see that planet all the way over there. Like, we are exactly here. You see that planet over there. You see that star there. Like, those objects in the background, they're actually present. We can go there. We can do stuff at those sites. So, when we go over here, we are going to go ahead and launch this. This is funny. We are going to launch straight forward at the sun. Continue where we left off. Locked on and go. I want to address something really quick. We got EC Morgan saying only a year and a half, LOL. I want you to show me a game that's been in development for a year and a half that looks this good. Just one. Just show me one. I challenge you. All right, let's keep going to the star. Alright, so we are going to find some opponents and also a mission in this star. As you can see, we are right up close and personal to it. And we are going to be... we're going to address these outlaw Weber drones. I'm going to fly up close and personal. And we're going to use the scattergun for a one-shot experience. Beautiful. Now we're going to swap over to our pulse laser, which is excellent at dropping shields, just like any veteran of EVERSPACE 1 would know. Then we're going to jump over to our coil gun for really great damage output. Perfect. No items. Ah! Oh, that's upsetting. But that's alright. We now are tasked with finding these scientists. This is a randomized mission that occurs in all of these different sites that you are going to, that are going to give you unique challenges, and those challenges can be combat oriented. They can be kind of like puzzle solving. They can be maneuverability challenges. Various missions. They can be stealth challenges. They can be lots of different elements. Ooh. So we're just letting him talk here for a second. I'm just checking to see what you guys are talking about. Some new weapon types on the idea board? Absolutely, we'll reveal those when we are able to. Some people have been asking about the flat cannon. I know that it's not in this particular build, but I can assure you, we're working on it. It was a very tried and true weapon. A lot of people loved it. We want to make sure that it's living up to its name. Alright, so now we're going to fly over to the solar panel. We activated our cruise drive to fly over here a little bit faster. First, we need to take out these outlaw drones and this Weber. Oh my gosh. Alright, much better. Take out this last ship. Let's see, let's use a couple mines on this guy. Oh, he navigated around that one pretty well. But as you can see, the AI is already quite different from what it was in EVERSPACE 1. Whereas EVERSPACE 1, your enemies just flew right at you and you could shoot at them. And that was kind of it. But here in EVERSPACE 2, they're going to have a couple advanced features about them. They're going to get a little bit clever in evading certain types of weaponry. Maybe certain devices that you try to utilize. They're not just dumb enemy types out there. There's some that you're going to have to really think and be thorough and clever about to overcome. Oh, actually, I think this one was near... No, it's another one. All right, we're going to fly over to this solar panel, and I'm going to show you another little mini game that's out here. And this one is going to allow you to do just like a really, really basic sort of race course. Obviously, these will be much more fleshed out to where maybe you're racing against other computer opponents. Maybe it's a death race sort of thing, where last one standing at the end of it gets some sort of, reward. And we're out of boosters. Oh my goodness. Oh, we missed a ring. Oh, for shame. 30 out of 31 rings. We'll have to try that again sometime. But many different challenges. And of course, there's a lot hidden in the cracks and the crevices of these various asteroids as well. In fact, I see one right down here. Beautiful. What's in here? Ooh, we have a rare blaster. And it looks like a shield ST, which we're just going to go ahead and equip because we are all out of space. So now is a really good time to head back to our station. Oh! Looks like I overloaded the game and it kicked me out. Prototypes, man. No worries, we'll jump right back in and get right back where we were at. So the next thing that I wanted to show you is what happens whenever you're venturing to various systems. So the nice thing about this, and you can actually see just in our method of travel, kind of glad it actually kicked us out, because now it shows you how quickly you can get around. So instead of having to wait forever to get to that star, we can just go, boom, we're already back here, we're already doing the things that we were previously up to. And we're going to head straight over to this G&B mining station and show you what it's like to have objects to trade and what opportunities there are at various stations that you encounter. So first we need some loot. Maybe we can get some from this guy. Hey, there we go, some nanofibers. It's just one item, but it'll work. Alright. Here's a nice opportunity to also showcase the weapon overdrive and the sheer amount of damage that it will provide. Perfect. Wonderful. We were able to clean out most of those guys with relative ease. Last one, no problems whatsoever. Alright, so let's go ahead and fly over to this base, show how it works and interacts. And all the possibilities thereof. So right over here we have this G&B mining station right on the outskirts of the sun. And we are able to refill any of our missiles and mine launchers that we've used. costs aren't, none of it's balanced yet, so it's actually really, really cheap for us to do here. I'm going to show you that in a second. We're going to sell these nanofibers just for a little bit of a profit, and then we're going to go ahead and refill these missiles, which is going to cost us a mere 27 credits. Now, there are a lot of various goods that you can find from different shops, and you'll also be able to pick up certain missions, certain jobs from various job boards from certain factions in order to increase or decrease reputations with various peoples in space. You'll also have the opportunity here to go through your management. Anything that you've been leveling up through, you'll be able to customize and tweak that, of course, to your liking. And absolutely be able to make sure that all of your equipment is exactly where you want it to be before venturing back out into open space as well. Can you enslave the scientists? Oh my goodness. What a question that I just read. So those scientists, I know that I didn't finish that mission, but basically, whenever we were to complete that, they're actually going to tell us that the sun is crap and that they're basically barely going to pay us anything for doing that task that they asked us to do. So that's probably not going to be the last time we run into those scientists. And we'll have to see what becomes of them and how we choose to interact with them in the future. So very good. Can the AI complete? Oh my goodness. No, it's not that level of AI. I don't think any AI in any game is to that degree, Daniel. Benefit to not escaping interception. Well, there's not really anything too specific right now. If you get intercepted, you're going to have to deal with a combat situation. And to that, you could actually find some loot off of your enemies and gain experience. So there might be a benefit to that as of right now. The main thing that it's doing is it's slowing your progress where you're trying to travel through. And giving you some sort of challenge, a mobility challenge in particular, to travel from one location to another. So if you don't want to be slowed down, you avoid it. If you don't mind and you could possibly find something, depending on what enemies await you, you can go ahead and get intercepted. There are going to be a large assortment of folks that are after you, and at certain parts of the campaign in EVERSPACE 2, you're probably not going to want to be slowed down, because if you do, it might not end so well for you. So lots of little twists and turns that will be occurring. I completely agree. Oh, I have to read this out loud. Okay, so I just have to, I love this. I love this. Can't stand games that equate difficulty with being a bullet sponge. Having a clever AI is the more challenging and rewarding option. 100% agree with you. Just want to clap. I love that. I absolutely am thrilled that you are speaking that in our chats right now. That is absolutely a system that we want to utilize as well. Obviously, we have leveling systems here where you are accruing experience and you're going to be opening up new possibilities for you, new abilities, new powers, all those different types of things that you'll customize accordingly. But rest assured, as you're leveling up, it's not just a mere, oh, I have 50 more hit points. I do 0.5% more damage. Like, those subtle changes will occur in the background, but the actual challenges that you're going to be facing and the variation of equipment that you will have is going to depend on the level, yes, but it will apply it not to statistics, but through those various opportunities. You're going to have much more unique attributes at higher levels on your equipment. Your enemies are going to have much greater understanding of what your equipment is, and have AI to boot circulating how you are engaging with them at higher levels. So this is definitely something that we are looking towards and something that we absolutely want to achieve in the game. We just have to work on it and make it happen. So absolutely great statement. I love that. 100%. 100%. It's great. I haven't snuck over to Twitch yet. Real quick, I'm just going to check you guys, make sure you're getting your your questions answered. You know what I mean. Can we interdict ships too? Oh, this is a clever question. Like getting those lonely cargoes. Spectral Dagger, I absolutely love that concept. If it's something that we could implement and it's fun to do, kind of like fishing in space, if you will. You're just like sitting there with a signal, Waiting for a ship to go by. Oh, we interdicted them. Now we can grab them. If you like fishing in space, I don't know. Maybe that's a concept that we can look towards. Why not? I'll send it to the team. I actually kind of like that idea. Let me just write that down. I think it's clever. That'd be fun. I think that would be fun. Isn't it great when you show up to a stream and you say one of your ideas and then the developers are like, hey, I'm going to write that down. I think that's fun. I love doing these streams for you guys because of the questions, the concerns, the comments, the feedback that you have. Like, this is really what makes the community so great, in my opinion, and why it's so easy for me to do this for you. So thank you for being here and all the questions that you're throwing and the comments that you're suggesting. It's seriously, you guys are great. All right, let's keep looking into this. We're going to fly right back on out into space, and we're going to head over to this derelict station of sorts and see what's going on there. So here we have some power cores and some power sockets. We also still have our tool here to be able to fly over to and plop into place. There's nothing in there. So let's go ahead and find another one. This one's a really, really simple challenge because these weren't very far away from their original sources. I'm sure there will be much more intricate pathways and internal spaces that you'll have to navigate in order to get a power core to its power socket in other areas of the game. Let's see what other pieces we can loot. I think I see some in here. Beautiful. A pulse laser. All right, we'll take it. Scattergun. Perfect. And let's head on over to another location. I think we'll show off one more location, and then we're going to jump into a segment of just talking about what we've been up to over the course of this last week. We had a couple new things to reveal. So we're going to go ahead and just jump here and head over to this station. Actually, we'll head over to this warp gate first. It says it's unavailable, but something tells me that something's going to happen there. Say that station is structurally challenged. Oh my gosh, you guys. Personal cargo drone. I think something like that could be interesting. Drones are definitely something that we are looking into for the player to have. The capacity that they have, we'll have to figure it out. This guy looks dangerous and big. Bigger, anyway. This is kind of a mini-boss of something that you'll be encountering in the game of EVERSPACE 2. One of many. And as you can see, there's a little bit of sliver of orange on his armor, on his hull. And that represents his armor. We also have these turrets, which I'm going to blast at. And you'll see right there, that turret's actually going inside so that we can't destroy it. Also, this side opened up. So it's a weak point we can actually dive into. Now you can see those orange slats have closed, and he's regenerated his armor. So certain vessels that you're encountering, specifically larger vessels, they're going to have opportunities and weak spots, not only on their exteriors, but also on their interiors, that you can blast away to dish out some serious damage and take them down. Now, I've done this a couple times before in demonstrating this game. I probably made that look way easier than it's going to be. This is also in a situation where we're only level 2 and that guy was only like a level 2 as well. Rest assured, based on your level and the AI that's going to be adhered to that vessel that you are encountering, as well as his assortment of crew, the other fighters in his vicinity, some of this stuff can get real nasty real fast. So you are going to take great care in making sure that you are challenged by the experiences that you have, as well as get sweet loot. We have more loot that we forgot to grab. We'll go ahead and pull it all in. And head on over to the space and see what's going on. A mini warship. Yeah, it's kind of like a baby warship. A very, very early baby warship. Need flat cannon. Oh man, I would love to show the flat cannon. I want to ship that size with my interceptor and sentinel hanging off of it carrier style. Daniel, I like your thinking. And maybe we'll have more information to share about in the future about those types of things. A leaky pipe is no big deal. I can fix that for you. Perfect. This guy's basically got a leaky pipe. Pretty straightforward. We're going to fix it for him. Maybe he's going to offer a reward. Pretty simple job, right? We just fix a pipe. Should be good. Oh, I see Michael's answering some questions pertaining to some critters that we showed today. I am going to be showing you guys the vlog, if you did miss it, here in about 8 minutes. So just stick around. We're going to cover a lot of fun new details that we revealed. And it'll be a good time. So for now, we're going to keep going through here. Ooh, more nanobots. Oh, that's great. Let's go ahead and buy those. And, oh, a cargo unit. Buy and equip, thank you very much. This increased the number of slots that we have. This is an incredibly basic cargo unit with no modifiers. Kind of sucks, actually. But your cargo units can actually roll various stats on them as well. Something that might increase the damage of your energy weapons, or impact your sensor range. Or maybe it will add a reduction of collision damage. You know, various things of that nature could be applied just to your cargo unit itself. So while this might seem like a silly slot to have on your ship, the reason why we chose to do it in this capacity is so that you can take the time and utilize synergistic effects. I don't know if that's a word. Synergy, right? We want it to work together with other things that you're finding. So that's why it's there in its unique capacity in that sense. Let's go ahead and fly down here and fix this leak, and then get our reward. Nice, simple job. And we're suddenly under attack. Maybe it wasn't just as simple as we thought it was. Of course, there's plenty of GMB around here to take this guy out for us. So we're going to go ahead and just clear it out, and we're going to discover that this particular site has a madcap problem. They fly into this area and they steal their bandwidth. They just hang out, taking their internets. How dare they? And they don't really consider it too much of a problem, but I'm like, hey, I can fix that problem for you. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're also going to just be rude and take this freight container. Just because we can. It's mine now. Let's see, maybe we can line up a shot with one of these madcaps that reveals itself. This could be really funny or a complete fail whale. We'll see what happens. Alright, here we go. Oh, this thing's heavy. It's hard to line up shots. Alright, here we go. Let's try and hit him. Are we gonna hit him? Oh, we got him! It's barely clipped him, though. A little disappointing, but perfect. If we had an upgraded tractor beam or tether, or whatever you want to call the grappling mechanic, maybe we could have really chucked that and just blown him up in one go. Alright, let's take out this other madcap. Where'd he go? Right there. Whoop! Ran into the base behind us. Perfect. Now his madcap problem is solved. He's going to ask us how much we want paid for it, and we're going to say 1.2k. He's going to supply it. What a great little mission to go on. Turned out to be something a little bit more intense than what we originally thought it was going to be. Oh yeah, first we have to repair a little bit more of what happened since the GMB were firing all over the place. So let's go ahead and repair these things up. And then we'll talk about what we have been doing at Rockfish this week. Let's see, let's just cruise through here. Perfect. Repair up that leak. Awesome. Couple more. Pretty sure this leak didn't come from me. Yeah, those GMB fighters all around. Firing everywhere. Tell you what. Beautiful. Whoop, whoop. Okay, nailed it. Nailed it. Flawless. All right. Adam Roslin isn't just a geneticist, cloning expert, and pilot. He's also a plumber. An astute observation. But Adam Roslin, by the way, that is the name of the character that you meet later in the storyline of EVERSPACE 1. You are not Adam Roslin yourself, per se. You're actually a clone of him. Little bit spoiler there. Little bit spoiler. If you didn't know that, I'm sorry. Go play EVERSPACE 1, get the story, digest it. It's quite nice. And, yeah, so here we just have the name Adam Roslin associated with your character because you are continuing the storyline of you being a clone of Adam Roslin. So don't get confused there. While it says Adam Roslin, you're not technically Adam Roslin. You're a clone. You're a clone of Adam Roslin. All right, let's dive into what we've been up to at Rockfish for the week. All right, perfect. So what we were gonna do is we always do this fun little segment where we showcase anything that you've missed, all the great little elements. Let me just open a new window here. Come on, Chrome. Please cooperate. Thank you. Oh, much better. And we're going to be covering wonderful things, including but not limited to where the Kickstarter is at, and the new vlog post that we have, all the updates. It'll be good. So first, a very brief recap of what occurred last week. Marco, oh my goodness. So let's go over here. So quick update on things that we kind of covered. Oh my gosh. So we have update 5, which was behind the scenes lens flares, where we talked about how we are approaching lens flare technology in the game of EVERSPACE 2. And how it looks the way it does, and kind of our techniques to make it look better. This was written by Marco. He's lead 3D mastermind on the team. That's what I'm going to call him. 3D mastermind. There you go, Marco. If that's not that, give that man a raise. All right. So we kind of cover like all those behind the scenes things here, and we got a little bit of criticism for it, talking about how well, we had someone mention that lens flares don't exist from your eyes. Because like when you're in space and stuff, like they wouldn't exist, or some sort of realistic portrayal or whatever. So Marco went through and he talked about regarding lens flares last week on update number 6 as a follow-up, and he wanted to go into hyper-realism here. And Marco, if you're out there, just I love you so much. So basically he goes into all of this realism, including atomical realism, like so it has your nose right here. But, don't worry about your nose being there, because just like in real life, your eyes just naturally avoid looking at your nose, and it just like blanks it out, right? That's how it works. So even though that's on the screen, it'll go away eventually, because that's how science works. We changed the field of view to match the eyes, so 180 degrees. Rest assured, the nose is still there too. Don't worry, for you realistic fans, we got you covered. Very, very fantastic. The full range of your eyes, making it perfect for that realism. We also wanted to add blinking into the equation as well, because it's a requirement. I'm doing a lot of blinking right now. Just really capitalizing. Oh my gosh, Marco. And of course he also adds this element. I think this is just silly. Third person camera. So because you're outside of the ship, you can only survive 15 seconds because that's where you're viewing, so you die asphyxiation. Die from asphyxiation looking at third person. Oh my goodness. But we are absolutely hearing what you're saying, though. Sincerely, we love the feedback that you've given us and how critical you're being of all the little systems and the details that we're making, even on how we're utilizing lens flares. Like, seriously, thank you. Thank you for your attention to detail. That's awesome. And every chance that we can do to pay homage to that, or maybe make a little bit of fun of you, we're going to take it. Because it's a fun time. We're in this together, and I hope that you guys are enjoying the ride as well. Last thing, he also pointed this out, Marco, you fiend. Oh my gosh. For those who are correctly noting that there is no sound in space, we've already been feverishly working on a solution, as you can see here. You just turn your sound effects off. Problem solved. Now, to that, I also want to talk about one other thing. We had a couple really cool notes pertaining to this last little jab, if you will. And some people were saying it would be really cool to have like some sort of noise creation system, sound system on your ship itself that creates the noises that are out in space. And it could be a component of your ship that could possibly be damaged, making it really hard to understand where fire's coming from and what's out there and how you're engaging. It could be a kind of a fun little challenge in some capacity. So we heard that, and we're kind of considering what that might look like from a gameplay standpoint. Elements like that, if it's fun, if it creates a unique challenge, a great twist of the experience, we could probably implement it. But our main course of action is to make sure that the game is fun first and not a distraction. And if it's too much of a distraction, if it makes things frustrating, then we're probably going to end up ignoring it. So thank you again for all of your feedback, because we're having a lot of fun with this project. Hope that you can see that. And it's great. It's a really good time. So Marco, don't stop being you, dude. It's great. So now let's get into what we revealed this week. This dropped just today, October 25th, 2019. So here we are breaking into NPCs. A lot of you guys have been already asking about NPCs and the combat AI. Look at this. Boom, boom. It's like it was destined to be. And we're also talking a little bit about alien creatures. Before I'm going to read through this, I want to address one thing I saw in chat. Let's see. Okay, so going up, we're going to take a quick break, talk about lore for a second. So I see EC Morgan over on YouTube. He says, but if they are all Adam Rosslin, if they all have Adam Rosslin skills and memories, aren't they all Adam Rosslin? Kind of why transporters are just suicide chambers? Yes. Philosophy? Yes. Absolutely diving into philosophy here. But I say to you, if you were paying attention in the story of EVERSPACE 1, oh yeah, I'm going there. There was an incident that made Adam Rosslin have some slip-ups in creating these new clones. We don't know the full impact of how that affected the clone creation process, other than the fact that the clones have various memories of Adam Rosslin. They're not supposed to. The cloning process that the colonial military offered was supposed to wipe the memories and have a single purpose for those clones, which was combat. And Adam Rosslin was trying to create that clone in order to find a body replacement. And instead, he was creating new people. I'm being very particular with my words there. New people, not new Adam Rosslins. But we'll have more to share with the story and how that develops over time when we get there. So just wanted to point that out. But I love it. I love how chatty you are. I love you diving into philosophy. Great things. I love it. You guys are great. All right, so let's go into this a little bit further. NPCs, combat AI, alien creatures. If you guys haven't read this, you can also pull it up on the Kickstarter update number 7. I'm not going to read this. I'm respecting your intelligence. I know you know how to read. I'm just going to cover the main points. Basically, so this big part at the beginning, it's also addressing one other important element, and that's about our funding goal. A lot of you guys have expressed concerns that we might not make it, so I'm going to go through the spiel again. I just want to make sure that you are all very well aware of what happens if the Kickstarter wouldn't succeed, all right? If you are a backer currently for EVERSPACE 2, it means you don't lose anything, okay? This is an all or nothing campaign. If you support us, if you really want to make this happen, dive in. You've got nothing to lose if it fails. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain if it succeeds. So, rest assured, when it reaches the end of the Kickstarter, if we haven't made it, your money is never even pulled out of the source that you bound it to. Okay? So again, you lose absolutely nothing. If you do support us, You're an active participant in our development. Your voice is going to be very important to us through the course of the alpha, the beta, the early access. You might even get a sliver of yourself placed into the game. That is not something that is possible through a pre-order, not something that's possible through any other sort of format like an online store. That's why a Kickstarter is so different and so impactful for you guys to be invested in this. It's for you to put your money where your mouth is. If you remotely like what you're seeing here and you want to be a part of this, dive in. Like, now is the time, because you have 10 days left and then that opportunity is gone forever. All right? Okay. So that's the big important thing there. Let's move into the next big things. So, we are looking at NPCs and alien creatures, this type of stuff that a lot of people have kind of been wondering about. Like, what do the NPCs look like, or what the alien creatures that we're imagining, all those different types of sort of things. So we're just going to kind of dive right into this. So we had, in EVERSPACE 1, I was actually one of these critics too, by the way. So we had a lot of critics say that there aren't enough enemy types, there's not enough alien creatures, the replayability factor was limited because of the various elements in the game world to encounter. And we've definitely heard you. We've definitely been listening on that part, and moving into an open world RPG setting, we absolutely have to make sure that variety is tenfold. And that's where we're directing our traffic towards, is making sure that all of these different locations that you're going to, they're not different just because of their color, not different just because of that one enemy that's there. We want to make sure that everything is very rich and meaningful and unique through your encounters, making each site feel very distinct. So through that, we just wanted to show off some of these new tools and whatnot. This is the anti-missile drone, for example. This is a returning drone from EVERSPACE 1, but it has been tweaked out, which we'll talk a little bit more about right down here, because we have been using talented folks at Volta, Streamline Studios, and Liquid Development. They're the ones who have been helping us basically remodel the various characters of EVERSPACE 1 that you've been engaging, but upping that to an extreme. And I'll actually let me see if I've got. Oh yeah, we've got a couple here. So like, for example, let me get that off screen. Sorry about that. Let me just pull this up real quick so you can see, like, this is EVERSPACE, and then this is EVERSPACE 2 of just the GMB fighter, right? Just the GMB fighter, you can see quite the difference in the detail work from that ship alone, right? So we're going to go ahead and also this big old beast. My goodness, what is that? What is this? We see a gunship right there. A lot of people love that gunship. So we'll have a lot more ship styles and whatnot. We kind of talked about last week, but this thing, this Leviathan creature-esque thing, maybe we'll have more to share on it soon, I hope. But this is a very bold piece of concept art. We're really happy with a lot of the concept arts that we've been getting from JC and various individuals working for us, with us. And really enjoying the combat of the AI as well to boot, which again we talked about a little bit in the chat, where we're adding sophisticated combat AI and new gameplay features. So various elements of that nature to keep things fresh, new, exciting, etc., etc. You heard me say it a billion times. This right here, this is actually a freelancer drone carrier is what it's called. A huge loot pinata. And what you can see here is these little drones on the exterior of it. These are actually flying off of it. So these are popping out of those slots and then flying away. You can see these outlaws really want those pickings. And what's that back there? I don't know. That looks new. That looks different. I wonder what that is. That thing right up there. Does anybody know what that is? We'll probably talk about it later. Oh my goodness. And finally, I want to just dive into this vlog that kind of covers all of these different things that we've been talking about, and I'm going to take the time to answer your questions, any of your concerns, and we're just going to dive into this full force. So let's go ahead and just boom.
Hope you all enjoyed our previous vlog about player ships and yesterday's cheeky update regarding lens flares in EVERSPACE 2. Today we will have a look who else is flying around in the Beltergrades.
Most of the NPC ships in EVERSPACE 1 will make a return in EVERSPACE 2 in a completely overhauled form. We are working closely with external partners like Volta, Streamline Studios and Liquid Development, who are adding a lot more details to the original concepts. There will also be many completely new ships in EVERSPACE 2. New concepts are created by Tobias Frank, who designed most of the ships of the original EVERSPACE. The way the process works is that we start out with the gameplay idea and prototype it. This helps tremendously in determining the right size, as well as creating a list of requirements that influence the design. Tobias will then create a selection of different thumbnail sketches. We choose one of them and turn it into a block out and then a detailed concept. Our 3D artists then start with the modeling and texturing. By using high-res Atlas textures, we get a much more appealing look and higher pixel density compared to EVERSPACE 1, where we used baked textures for our ships.
The NPCs in EVERSPACE 2 will not only look better, but will also have more varied and complex behaviors. Take the Outlaw Destroyer, which has recharging armor and exposes weak spots when its armor is shut down. Or the Madcap, that keeps attacking you in its escape pod, right after it left an explosive surprise. We're constantly prototyping new enemy types that demand more from the player than just blindly shooting at them.
You can see the drones sneaking away there.
For example, the Ravager has a huge amount of health, but destroying its armor plates deals massive amounts of damage. Destroying bigger ships can require lots of different interactions and clever use of equipment. We're also working on elements that lean a bit more towards the fantastical side.
Speaking of which, the space creatures we added to EVERSPACE with the Encounters expansion will also make a return. You can look forward to many more additions, some of them might even be quite enormous in size.
Well, quite a lot of stuff to do, which is why we're super excited to work with some top-notch studios, helping us to fill the void of space with lots of awesome new content. See you next week.
Perfect. So you can see that there's a lot that we've kind of revealed, a lot that we are going through, just to showcase what we're going to be doing. Lots of different creatures, lots of different NPCs, really changing up the formula this time around, so you're going to have a lot of variety in what you're discovering out there in the vastness of space. So, very good. Let me see. Am I missing any questions from you guys? I know a lot of you are just going, ooh, that's great. That's great. What are your questions on this? I know that you've got some. Well, I'm also looking at like various streamers who've also been showcasing EVERSPACE 2. Maybe they're people that you know. This guy I know is specifically a German streamer. He had a blast with the game. And we are constantly doing these streams every Wednesday and Friday to address questions and all that general goodness. Playable Okar fighter ship, asks Mr. Orzonki. Mr. Orzonki. I'm just calling him Mr. Orzonki. I hope that's cool. So we've actually gotten that question a number of times. So our kind of thought process behind this is that through the process of collecting new parts for your ship and bettering yourself, you're scavenging basically anything and everything out of the demilitarized zone. That includes fallen Okar, yes, but the technology is also pretty different compared to the tools of like the Outlaw and the GMB, for example. Utilizing Viridian energy on the Okar side is very different from the technology that we have under our humanity. So we can't guarantee anything pertaining to Okar styles or parts of that nature. There might be ways to simulate that down the line. Heck, we might even add stuff of that nature down the line. But as of right now, it's not currently planned. We think that might be a little too far out of the scope of what we are shooting for. We have so many different wings and cockpits and engine designs already. Oh my gosh, we add on top of that Okar? Goodness gravy, you're going to have customization for years on hand just for your ship alone. So rest assured, we've heard what you guys are asking about pertaining to that. I can't guarantee anything, like I said, but it's noted, and we'll see what happens. So good feedback, good feedback. What else we got? With the new grapple mechanic, can you hold space debris in front of your ship like a riot shield to block enemy fire? Absolutely okay. Absolutely, and then you can chuck it at them right after they're done firing to do some collision damage. We do have... Oh, excuse me. We do have localization for a lot of different languages coming down the line. We will have full voice work for all German and English languages. And in addition to that, we might end up picking up more. It's hard to say. But EVERSPACE 1, we were pretty bold with the translations, and we were pretty happy with the results. In fact, the community helped us out even further to clarify and redirect certain items that were labeled. So we're looking forward to doing that with you guys with EVERSPACE 2 as well. I do think that we are picking up a couple more languages. Michael's going to know more about those languages than I do, and he might not even know the full range as of yet because we're still a long way out of development. So absolutely be pushing in the community. Say, I want this language. Let us know. Make sure your voice is out there, and we'll see what we can do. All right? It'll be good. Very good. Can you use the grapple to go space fishing and use said captured critter as a weapon? Daniel, I like your thinking. We'll have to see what happens in the future. All right, so now I'm diving over on Twitch real quick, see if I missed anything. Can we pet the space whales? Asked jberry438. You guys. Can we pet the space whales? I mean, petting is such a very difficult thing to do in space. It's like, what, you want to like open up the cockpit, stick your hand out and be like, oh, good space whale. Oh, that's a pleasant. I mean, if you're looking for that, the answer is a hell no. Like, no, you can't do that. Maybe if you're looking to like pet the space whale with your ship by like cruising along its back, I don't know. Yes. What do you want from me? Oh my gosh, what a crazy question. I'm just gonna say you can, and we'll see what happens. Okay? Is that fair? I'm not guaranteeing anything, but I'm saying we can. Oh my goodness. You guys. Spiders, no! Yeah, space spiders, right? Large, gigantic, spider-like creatures. That'll be fun. Let's see. Can we fly inside of the Leviathan to access a secret outlaw base built into one place no one would think to look? Caden, you are silly. We'll have more information on the Leviathan and our overarching thoughts on how you're going to be able to interact with it in the future. It's not something we're ready to reveal right now because there's so much more that we are exploring with how you're going to be engaging with it, or multiples of it, or whatever that looks like. There's so many different ways that we could veer off and go towards. So more information later pertaining to that. What else we got? Michael, thank you for jumping over on YouTube to answer the text and UI language support confirmed for efigs, BR, PT, PL, RU, CN, JP, and KR. I will not deny I don't know what all of those mean. I know that there's Japanese and Korean in there, some other stuff. But, yeah, there you go. Oh my gosh. Can you tell I don't work on localization? Don't worry about that. Oh, it's great. I love EverSpace. Sorry for random scream. I have only 2 achievements unlocked on Steam. I bet one is Welcome to EverSpace. Oh, you need to get on that, Bilbo. There's so much fun to be had. It's great. Space spiders plus abandoned cruiser wreckage. Oh, terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Can one apply for voice acting? Asked Talon24. There are some times during the Discord where we hang out in the evenings and I just like talk to you guys. We just talk. I'll be working on something for Rockfish and we'll just chat. And I implore you to continue those types of conversations with me. Whenever I open up those chats and you want to, talk about those types of things, I don't know. I can probably direct you to my boss and see if there's any opportunities. I do know that we use a specific agency for our voice acting, and we have very key individuals who are returning from EverSpace 1. So I know that, like, if you wanted to, say, have your voice for the hero, that's not an option. Nope. That's not gonna be a chance at all. Now, pertaining to various NPCs and creatures of that nature, or persons of that nature, I don't know. Maybe there is. We'll have to see what that looks like through the course of development. As of right now, I'm not going, it's another thing that I can't really guarantee, but let's have a conversation, Let's see what that looks like. I think that'd be kind of fun. Oh, Michael's clarifying everything for me. Perfect. English, French, Italian, German, Spanish. Look at you. What a rock star. Brazilian, Portuguese. Oh, my gosh. Michael, you're great. Thank you so much for the clarification for the audience. All right. Can we be pirates and have positive reputation with pirate and outlaw factions? Sniper NLN, this is a fantastic question. Right now, that is something that's currently on the table, is utilizing a faction system where you can align yourself with certain outlaws or the GMB, various things of that nature to do specific jobs for them. And some of that's going to be conflicts between even the same outlaw clan. Some of that's going to be obviously with the GMB or the OCAR. Maybe other factions will find their way into the DMZ. Maybe there are other elements entirely that will play a part into how various things interact as well. So I would say, to answer that question, we would like to. That is something that we want to push. It's good. Polish and Russian. Oh, okay, perfect. Polish. Perfect. Space spiders should make webs between asteroids and make you all sticky, and then space hobos should come in and use a piece of paper and a squirt bottle to attack you. You guys are crazy. I do like the idea of a space making a web between asteroids, though. That'd be a very large bola. Oh my gosh, like, whew, throwing it at your spaceship. Oh, that'd be crazy exciting. All right, did Rockfish Games ever look into horde mode challenges or a game mode? We are absolutely looking into modes, or rather events of that nature, because there are a lot of different jobs and a lot of different missions that are out in the world that you will be experimenting with and exploring. We know that a lot of people enjoyed the kind of the horde-ish mode at the end of EVERSPACE 1, and that's definitely something that we'll continue to look at and see if there's possibilities there, but I can't really guarantee anything about that particular element either. There's so much that I can't really guarantee. I'm going to show some spinning pieces of work while I'm just randomly talking for you guys, by the way. So yeah, I mean, that's another, that would be something that's really cool. We'll have to look into it, see how possible it is. We really want to make sure that the late game challenges and EVERSPACE 2 are meaningful to loot collection and diversification of your gear, stuff like that. This was EVERSPACE 1, by the way, and this is EVERSPACE 2. You can see like the detail difference. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. That is actually crazy to me. Let's see, what we got the bomber here. Did I show this one already? I can't remember. But you can see how the model is different. It's an entirely different model. We didn't just like pull the models over and be like, oh, we're just going to use this. No, like these are completely different models of the classic ships that we saw in EVERSPACE 2. Here's the Madcap. Look at all those intricate details. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Crazy. My goodness. Economics. I missed this question. My apologies. Economics. Trading between stations and stuff. We absolutely want to make it to where there is an economic system in place with EVERSPACE 2. How deep that's going to go is a tricky question to answer. We've seen in other space simulation economic trader games get really crazy deep with their economy to where it was kind of broken and frustrating because you could never like make a true profit. And we've also seen economies where they were so simplified that they were incredibly exploitable, and then you could essentially break the game. So we want to find a nice balance there. It's a work in progress. There's going to be a lot of conversation around what that's going to look like and how that's going to impact the game. But rest assured, we would like to have some type of economic system where there are certain goods that you're going to take to certain parts of the galaxy where you're selling them for a better profit than others. Certain factions desire certain things. All of those various types of interactions. So, good question. This is a new one as well. This is the armor drone. This one, whenever it's nearby a group of outlaws in particular, it's going to give them more armor. So until you destroy this guy, everything else is beefier and it's going to be harder to take down. Bilbo asks, is Alec going to be in EVERSPACE 2? Is Alec going to be in EVERSPACE 2? Is Alec going to be in EVERSPACE 2? Where's this? Let's see. More information. Exploration, combat, ships, story! I just want to look at this story real briefly. Just look at, just kind of read through it a little bit. I'm not necessarily looking at any portraits or anything, but, yeah, I wonder too. We'll have to find out. We'll have to find out if our boy Alec comes back in EVERSPACE 2. But I can't say a word, okay? I can't tell you anything until we reveal it. Oh my gosh, would you look at that on the screen? Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, that's... But yeah, so we do see a character that at least looks awfully like Alec. So maybe that is him. Maybe it's somebody completely different. Who knows? He has like, what, 20, 26, 24 children or something like that? Maybe it's one of his children? I don't know. Shame on me. No, I'm good. I'm just messing around. We're having a good time here, okay? This is fun. We're bonding. It's good. But yeah, anyway. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Is there a possibility you guys may be introducing a heavy type ship that can ram other ships? Let me just pull up this bad boy. This is what we showed last week. This is, no, actually, was this 2 weeks ago? I can't remember now. This is actually some blackouts of the gunship, one of the larger ships that we're going to have in the game, and one of the types of wings. So this bad boy, I mean, he's large and in charge, and I'm pretty sure that whatever he runs into is going to have a bad time. So, will you be able to land on planets? There's no EVA, but there is in-planetary combat. So you'll be able to fly down to planets, you'll be able to land at stations on planets, and definitely do a lot of engagements and interactions, possibly with various environmental effects, such as gravity, for example. We're exploring a lot of what that looks like and making sure that it's fun for players. While it might not be realistic for items to just stick there in the sky for you to pick up, if it's not fun to have to like fly down and collect your loot on the ground, or if it falls into like lava or water, whatever, and then it's like inaccessible, we want to make sure that it's not hurting the gameplay experience overall. There's a lot for us to think about through that process. I know some of you guys are like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Or maybe you did, and that's impressive if you did. That's awesome that you did. But we want to make sure it's fun first, right? That is absolute key with our development process. So if it's fun, we'll do stuff like gravity. If it's not, we're going to keep it streamlined to be arcadey space shooting action where you're picking up all that sweet, delicious loot. Here, let's look at another ship wing from the gunship. I like this one. I like how it gets the wings added on like that. Talon asked a question. I missed it. Is that Carly? Is that... Oh, so... Man, you guys really want to dive into spoilers. Oh my gosh, I love it. I can't confirm or deny that that's Carly. But if you guys have played through the ending of EVERSPACE 1, then you may already know the answer. Possibly. But maybe not. Wow, that was about as vague as I could make things. Long story short, we'll have a lot more information about all of those characters that I just showed you on screen. I'll be able to dive in and discuss who they are, what they do, why they're doing it, how they interact with you as a pilot, what their missions are, how that's going to impact everything that's going on. That all comes in time. Right now, we are set to develop this bad boy. We got to flesh everything out. It's just a little too soon to talk about it. And I know that you guys understand that, and I really do appreciate your patience with us as we're working on all these elements. It gets crazy. I also want to show this picture off. A lot of people really like this one. I just think it's really cool. These are all of the current wings available for the medium fighter types. I know this is a very vast picture, and it's hard to see all of them. But yeah, this gives you just a little bit of of the scope that we're dealing with pertaining to customization. Again, this is just wings. This is not engines. This is not cockpits. This is just wings alone, okay? For the medium fighter class. This is not lights. This is not heavies. We got a lot of stuff working in progress. Will in-atmos suffer bird strikes, and if so, can we use said birds as... Oh my goodness, you are silly, Daniel. There could be, I mean, absolutely there could be biological... Wildlife, that's the word I'm looking for. There could be wildlife on planets, absolutely. Birds, maybe. I guess we'd have to figure out if that's fun or annoying. It's definitely possible, I suppose. All right, Black Hiver, I said, since you guys are making open world, is the universe moving on in all areas while you play? Or to put it in a philosophical space, is there stuff exploding and making sound in space even if no one is seeing the effects and hearing the sound? That is way so deep. Way so deep. All right? My goodness. I mean, we are making... The world itself, the open world that we are designing, it is very much a persistent world. Persistent open world. So that does mean that the actions that you take in certain areas, they are going to have a lasting effect for that specific area. I know that I didn't dive into it. Maybe we have enough time to get there. We do. Actually, let me show you. I love being able to just do this on the fly. This is actually really exciting. We're going to dive back into the game, and I'm going to show you just very briefly about one of the things that's like persistent. Oh wait, that's the... Goodness gravy. I gotta load the right one for you. My apologies. One second. So there's going to be various encounters in the game that allow you to impact that location. It shouldn't take too long. Here we go. My audio settings okay? They are. Good. So here what we're going to do, and we're going to change our ship to be something cool. This one looks nice. We'll fly this one. Perfect. So we're going to go ahead and fly towards an outlaw base. Right here. Outlaw turf. And this right here, this is one of many sites that would have a persistent effect on the game world in this particular space. So this guy right here needs to die for me to keep moving over here. All right. Got some more enemies to face. That's fine. Oh, we have an armor drone here. This is good. This is a really good example of, like, you see how much orange is on that scout right next to us. When we take out this armor drone, that is a beefy armor drone at level 4. Ah! No balancing yet, so it's just like a bunch of number figures in the background. Kind of annoying. We'll get those worked out. Just take out a missile. Perfect. So now the armor on this guy is now gone, so we can take him out relatively easy. And get one more guy. Beautiful. Okay, so all of this stuff talking about persistent spaces, we have this side over here, there's this outlaw base. And we see them shooting missiles at us. And now we have an objective to destroy this outlaw base, okay? So we're going to fly around, we're going to take out all these different components. And all this stuff is on the exterior of the space for now. There could be a lot more challenges in the future where you have to deal with stuff that's inside of a base. And I'm not talking about underneath, which I'm also going to show you in a little bit, but I'm talking like inside, flying to the interior. Let's get rid of those drones real quick. Take out this turret. Another drone. Get rid of you. And you see these banners, they're kind of representative of the outlaw faction that owns this site. So we take out these banners like so. All his other stuff's been destroyed. Now this base is ripe for the picking, so it's going to open up right here. Or destroy its central core. Really kind of a basic formula right now, but a lot more to come. Explosion! Lots of loot! Let's take this guy out. And because we have destroyed this base from this particular outlaw faction, they probably have a weaker impact in this area. And maybe another faction might want to move in. Or maybe there would be some sort of way for you to, like, gain some type of ownership of the site. I don't know. Opportunities abound. But what the main point is that now that we've destroyed... we're getting a little lag. Sorry about that. The main point is that when we are conquering this base... Actually, that's a lot of lag. I have a lot of stuff running in the background. That's my bad. Sorry about that. But whenever we're going through and we're like dealing with this site, now that it's destroyed, when we leave and we come back, it's still destroyed. It's still gone. In fact, when we leave and come back, maybe the GMB has made a mining outpost on this base. Who knows? That's what I'm talking about with the persistent game world. It can constantly change and evolve based on your interactions in those unique spaces. So... a lot of possibilities there. That took a really long time to answer, but I hope that kind of like covered the main elements of what we were kind of like trying to show there in that understanding. So, very good. Goodness. Oh, here, let's actually close that bad boy. Perfect! Let's see. Frames are back, resolution is still low. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about the low frame rate. My apologies about that. I was like clicking on a bunch of stuff. I've got like too many things running because I'm jumping back and forth between... The main point is that there are sites at these unique locations, points of interests that, depending on how you interact with, it's going to shape and change those areas. Perfect. Sorry that I was slideshow mode. Oh my gosh. Do resources and creatures respawn? There are a lot of different opportunities for various sites to build themselves back up. Since you are going to be going to a lot of different locations, we're probably going to have some sort of triggers in the game where, you know, even if it's like mission-based, you complete some sort of task, and then it, like, in a mine that you previously were at, maybe it's refilled itself. Or maybe if a specific mission will essentially have it refill so that you can go there to do a job for the GMB, you know, whatever. So yeah, there'll be means to make areas become refreshed and provide more content in them, even after you've swooped through them. But rest assured, your interactions will play a part in how those things will occur. Perfect. Oh man, was my voice choppy too? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, I'm so sad. But we're through it. We're through that. So, what about more questions? You guys have more questions, or do you want me to play more of that slideshow? I'll tweak my settings so that won't happen again. Do we learn more about the ancients in the sequel? Oh, Bilbo, asking some great lore questions. So for those of you who are not familiar with the ancients, you shouldn't be. They're ancient and they're secretive. So that's on point. If you've played EVERSPACE 1, you know exactly what the ancients are, at least if you've been to Sector 4, about in the middle of it, because they are a very mysterious race that maybe even was the precursor to the Okar. The Okar actually worship the ancients as gods, and there's not much else to really know, other than they create black holes when they die, and it's very dangerous, and you usually die to it the first time that you encounter them. But there's so much in the lore of the world that we want to cover, that we want to like really flesh out and make lasting experiences from, that you can almost guarantee that we'll find more on the ancients in EverSpace 2, but that's a talking point for another day. It's going to be something that we'll have to expand upon when the timing is right. Oh my gosh, I've said that so many times today. But it's just kind of a part of the process. It's part of the development process, right? Like right now, we really focused on making this experience as powerful as possible and delivering as many goods as we can possibly show you so that we can keep moving forward, so that we can hit this Kickstarter goal, right? Let's go ahead and give this a refresh. Where are we at? Okay, yeah. So it's looking still pretty good. It's still looking pretty good. I think that we're still on task. But any and all support from you guys, if you want to be a part of this development process, I know that I've said it already a number of times on the stream, but this is your chance to play a role in the development cycle. It's not just a you give us money and we take it from you sort of thing. In fact, the way that this operates is that if you invest in this right now, if the Kickstarter succeeds, we'll then take it at the end of the Kickstarter. If it doesn't succeed, you keep your money. It's as simple as that. Like, you don't lose anything if you don't do it. If you do it and we don't go, like, it doesn't reach its point, and you have only to gain if you do it, and then now you've invested in EVERSPACE 2 and you can play your role into that development process. So definitely consider backing it if you do like what you've seen here, answering questions for you guys, if you like the way that we're interacting. Yeah, like, your support is very valuable and meaningful to us, so that we can not only create a game for ourselves, but obviously for you guys. Like, it's so imperative that we do this for you and it's by you in that process. So, good stuff. How about the cameo voice acting of your stream team, Black Coffee Writer? Oh my gosh. There are opportunities abound there. That could be fun. Who built the jump gates? Asked Caden. That would be the GMB. In fact, as Geekbyte has responded with, the GMB built those warp jump gates in order to navigate space-time more easily from all of their mining monopoly facilities, whereas the Okar never really had a problem with that because they use a different means of transportation through the course of through the utilization of Viridian energy and wormholes. Perfect. Let's see, am I missing anything? Did I miss any questions? I'm trying to cycle back through. You guys have asked some really great questions, and this has been a lot of fun. Just to hang out with you. You're great. What a great group. Let's see. What if we find an older species in the universe? Will the ancients become the youngsters? Talon24 asks. I suppose that would be the case. We'll have to see. Will Hive be making its return? This question has been asked multiple times, and it delights me that people have been asking this. Knowing that the Hive made such a memorable experience in your mind and playing EVERSPACE 1 is such a delight. And we're really glad that he's impacted you in that capacity. The Hive, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's happened in between the events of EVERSPACE 1 and EVERSPACE 2. Through the course of the demo, I'm sure that you've all noticed that we don't have any voice lines at all. There's a lot of stuff that's coming down the line, but we don't see Hive anywhere in any inputs. A lot's changed. We're taking things in different directions, and we are going accordingly to do what's best for the game and what's best for you guys. So we will have more information on all of those companions that you saw in that picture, as well as possible other companions that weren't. Hive included. There could be something about that, or there could be not. It just depends on where we're moving our development cycle through and what we have the means to accomplish with all of our tasks at hand. So, yeah, that's about the best way I can answer that right now, because we'll have more information about all those companions later. Oh my gosh, it burns not being able to fully answer your question. What about reoccurring villains? Oh, villains, you say? I'm sure there will be an assortment of characters that aren't very much friends with you. We'll have to see what those look like in time. Let's see, what else you guys got? Man, you guys are asking so many questions. It's great, but I know that I'm missing some of them, and I'm so sorry. I am scrolling up a bit in Twitch, and I see Ryan Ares. EVERSPACE 1 became really fun when you got infinite drift, which reduced your inertia dampeners and increased collision resistance. I would like to see manual, menu-based, maybe ship attribute tuning to customize effects like infinite drift without finding them. Would that kind of customization and or whole mods be a thing? I am delighted to say yes. This is something that we will be fully implementing in EVERSPACE 2. We've heard the cries of the people. You're all crazy out there because this is an arcadey space shooter. It's not a realistic portrayal of space. There's a lot of stuff to run into, but you like your infinite drift, so dang it, we're going to let you toggle it. EVERSPACE 2, you can toggle your inertia dampeners on and off to your leisure, to your liking, whenever, however you would like. So if you like that space simulation drifting through the vastness of emptiness, which isn't so empty in our games because there's, lots of stuff to run into, by all means, good luck, and I hope that you find some collision damage resistance in the process. Whew! But yeah, we're doing that. 100%. I want a minion bobblehead in my ship. Bobbleheads. Alright. Let's see. You guys having fun over on Twitch. Did I miss any more questions up there? I think that's good. Alright, YouTube! EVERSPACE 2's Boba Fett. You silly. Space Dice. See, that sounds awesome. I do want to confirm that there is a cockpit mode. You will be able to look at the interior of your ship. Maybe I even have... Do I have an image of that? I can pull up the vlog if you guys don't mind me taking a moment. But yeah, we have internal cockpits for your ships that you can actually customize as well. So it's not just you can look inside, but you can actually like change the way that it looks. Sorry about that. I'm not actually going to have the sound up on this. I just wanted to like go through and show. Here we go. So like this is like an example of the interior space of like a gunship. You can also see a very specific looking planet in the background that looks like Geonosis from Star Wars. It's not. I can confirm. But you can see like the different cockpits. Like you can actually change the way that these will look. So let me try and, so like here's another option of this same one, and then you have like, yeah, so like you're seeing lots of variation to the various cockpits that you will have full control of. These are early blackouts, by the way. Everything that you see on the screen now, these are early blackouts. So like if you think, oh, it's done, that doesn't look very good. There's so much more work ahead of us right now. But yeah, that's gonna be galore. Spaceballs. Yes. Oh, Dennis, my man. That's great. That is great. So yeah, lots of fun goods like that. Will there be hood ornaments? My goodness, you guys want all this customization. Did I show you the wings yet? Did I show you how much you're going to be able to customize the exterior of your ship? Come on. I mean, we're going to try and add as many of those great features as possible to let you have fun with your ship, with your starfighter. We know that it's important to you, and it's important to us as well. We'll have to see what time allows. Obviously, our focus is going to be on capturing the gameplay experience first, and then beyond that, if we can add little nuances and subtleties and trinkets in the form of space dice and bobbleheads, then it should be possible. Possibly. So, no guarantees. I can't guarantee anything in that realm, but we can absolutely look into it. I expect a foot spa? Oh, come on. Goodness. You guys are great. All right, we got about 10 minutes left. I think what I'm going to try and do is see what my frame rate looks like when I dive back into the game. Let's see. Actually, could I be a sneaky dude? No, I can't do that. I can't do that. What I am going to do is... Oh, whoops. I'm doing a wrong thing here. Hang on. That looks funny. That looks much better. Much better. All right, let's see how our frame rates do this time. We doing okay now? Yes, no, maybe? I think it's better. And if our frame rates die, then we'll just end the stream. No, we won't. We'll answer questions. All right. Okay, guess what engine? Unreal Engine 4, and we use blueprints as well. So lots of C++, lots of dragging and dropping and connecting things. Makes it real easy, but also incredibly intuitive for those who know that technological background and detail work. Our team, like Andy and Hans Christian in particular, they're freaking geniuses when it comes to programming this stuff. For those of you who don't know, Hans Christian, one of the developers on the team, he actually basically made Galaxy on Fire 1. Like, just the whole game. Like, that was Hans Christian. So moving into, like, everything that we do now, knowing that we have a bigger team to be able to come together and make these magical things happen. Oh, it's crazy. It's actually crazy. Talon says C++ scares me. It scares me too, man. That's why I'm a community ambassador. And my place on the development team is by game design consultation instead of doing the coding work. All right, so let's go ahead and I want to fly the Interceptor. I don't know. It just seems nice to me. So if you guys don't mind, we're going to fly this bad boy out. And let's see. We didn't have a lot of time to go to this last site, so we'll go ahead and fly over here. Frame rates look way better than they were before, so it's crazy what happens when you close things, not an operation. Oh my gosh. Wait, I missed a question? What's up? Oh. What do we got? I want my deaths in EVERSPACE 2 to be because I accidentally started playing Qbert on my dash. You guys, what flavors of jamming are going to be available, and will the flavor affect the strength? Well, I think that we all know that raspberry is the strongest of the jams, so that one's absolutely going to be like tier 10, and the modifiers for it are just going to be insane, okay? Like, we're talking just crazy. But, I mean, I think strawberry could be a close second, so definitely look forward to that. Alright, so we've got this evacuee in this area. I wanted to show you this quick mission where we're going to grab him and take him over to safety. Just another example of how you can utilize the grapple mechanic that we are plugging into the experience. As soon as I can figure out where I'm freaking flying, objects nearby, over here. We're close enough, I still don't see him, ironically. Oh, there he is, he's right below us. Perfect. So we got this little escape pod. We're going to grab him. And we're going to start taking them over here. I think this is also a good time to accidentally push the Z button and show you guys what we're doing with our viewing again. So also there's no effect right now with that tether between the ship and it looks like I'm about to ram into him. We've got effects coming, don't you worry. But you'll have all the capabilities that you had in EVERSPACE 1 with your photo mode. And more. What I want to show you right now is just adjusting the depth of field behind us. So you can kind of see like how we're able to like make things look a little bit more, you know, flashy for you in your photos. And of course you still have the full control to break away, get other different settings and spaces accordingly to make everything look exactly how you want it. This is a really bad photo, to be honest, but you know, whatever. This one's not too bad. Blurring the background, I like it. We'll also have like color correction. We'll have probably filters, various effects like that. For any of you guys who love photography, you guys went hog wild with EVERSPACE 1. We loved what you guys did. We want to make sure that you can do that again and more. So definitely looking forward to seeing what you guys are going to do with the photo mode that we provide. It should be really, really good. You don't like raspberry? That's the point of it being the strongest of the jamming. Dawn. Okay, enough about jams. If you guys don't know that reference, y'all need to watch Spaceballs right now. When you die in EVERSPACE 2, ooh! Oh no, it's... Unfortunately, I thought you were going with a question pertaining to death. I actually do want to talk about that, though. Because EVERSPACE 2, as a looter shooter, there's cause for concern that maybe you're playing and you get to a checkpoint and then you die, right? And you found some really epic loot. We're talking like some sort of pulse laser that freaking completely cuts through shields, or like when it hits an enemy, it drops their shields for like a solid 2 seconds, or you know, something crazy powerful. Like maybe it electrocutes everything nearby. Let me pick up my earth wine. Hang on. Beautiful. And you know, you just don't want to leave this weapon because it's just awesome. And then you die and you start back at the checkpoint. And guess what? You load in all that stuff that you did. It's gone, right? So that pulse laser, pop, poof. Vanished. Is that fun? Is that fun to you guys? I don't think it's fun. We don't think it's fun. We're not going to do that. We are making sure that the saving system that's bound to EVERSPACE 2 is going to honor your loot first. So if you happen to get completely wrecked after a checkpoint, but you found something, or maybe you saw something but you weren't able to collect it, we are finding ways to ensure that loot is key. It's first. And when you start back over, maybe you'll have that collected, or it'll be bound to your ship in some capacity, or if you go back to a station, it'll be there waiting for you. All of that type of stuff, so that you don't lose the most important element of this game through that itemization. So there will be other means of how we will affect the death states within the game. We're still exploring what those options look like, but just know that we are not going to take stuff from you. That is not how we are going to operate. It's not how we want to operate. So know that straightforward. Boom. Wait, was there anything in here to buy? We could sell this earth wine. And anything else? Not really. Not really good stuff. Efficient pulse laser. 10% of kinetic damage bypasses the shield. That's kind of cool, but it's a little too expensive. So we're just going to have to fly back out. We have another shadow creature there. This challenge is also not too challenging. I also want to fly over here. Maybe you've seen this actually in the trailer. Fly in here. Oh, look at that. That's pretty. At least I think it's pretty. Collect the loot. Perfect. And there'll be a lot of little secret locations that you'll explore and venture into that might have really powerful items for you to pick up. Even though the itemization, it's randomized in most cases, there will also be specific missions, side missions that once you've accomplished multiple tasks, there will be one very specific item that you acquire from that. Say, you know, like Benny's beam laser, whatever. Like, you can only get that beam laser from helping out a guy named Ben on the GMB, and you do this mining campaign for him that goes south, and you fight off these outlaws, and then from there the outlaws actually show you that the GMB are corrupt, you know, whatever. It keeps going through its storyline. You get to the end, and boom, you get Benny's beam laser, which has this very powerful effect, and the only way that you can get it is by completing that mission chain. So there's going to be locked-in elements like that, in addition to just like the varied randomization. So definitely be looking forward to that. I know some people have also been asking about like if loot is going to be dependent of where you are at in the gaming world. Like say in Terminus, for example, in this orange spot, maybe shields drop more commonly, something like that. We're looking at those possibilities. We don't have anything locked in place. There's still a lot more to go with the itemization as a whole. But we do want to make sure that it's meaningful to go to very specific locations. Even if, say, like Condor was, you know, level 50, whatever, I don't know, and Terminus is level 20, you'd have some sort of value to still go back to Terminus, even though you're at level 70, you know. We're looking into all of those different things. So nothing is locked in place. We got a lot of room to grow, and we are really looking forward to your feedback as we move into those steps to make sure that, again, it's meaningful and it's fun. So, will the drive-thrus fit my gunship? That is a great question. You guys and your silly questions. Oh my goodness. I'm glad you're having fun here. This is good. This is really good. So we're gonna destroy this madcap real quick. And we're gonna maybe fly away. Can we fly away? Boost! And, oh, we don't... I thought, for some reason, I thought I had a shock rifle. I do not. They are basically a sniper rifle in this game. I haven't collected one yet. But they can be a lot of fun. Did the guy behind me? Oh, G&B took him out. Okay, cool. A lot of different weapon types. Most of the weapons from EVERSPACE 1 are coming back in EVERSPACE 2. Did I say most? I said most for now. Maybe all. I don't know. We'll see. Other little bases. Anyway, my time's actually up. My goodness, I went over. Woo! We gotta wrap this bad boy up. I'm gonna answer just a couple more questions. Wait, am I lagging? I hope I'm not lagging. Okay. I'm gonna answer just a couple more questions from you guys because you've been awesome, and I want to make sure that we are getting all satisfied from the stream. The stream is for you. It's by you. Oh my gosh. You guys, this community is awesome. If you guys haven't jumped over, by the way, you need to join the Discord. Discord.gg/rockfishgames is in the lower left right there. Get on that. I'm there all the time. I'm chatting with you guys. I'm making fun of you. I'm engaging very healthfully with you guys. It's always fun. Sometimes we have comm nights where we just dive in and we're just talking about various things. It's good. It's a lot of good fun. I implore you, seek us out. Just check it. It's great. It's good stuff. Are you going to do in-game talk radio like the radio channels in GTA? This is a very interesting request. That would be something that we would plug in much later in the game. It's absolutely not priority, Daniel. I don't even know how desired that feature would be amongst our community. If you think that it would be cool, if you think our community would like that, all the more reason to dive into the Discord, share your thoughts, and see what other people think about it. Because, again, like, through this entire development process, you guys are leading the charge. If you really, really want something, we're probably gonna make it happen. Creative freedoms abound. We have to be careful with how we're moving forward. I shouldn't say probably. That's a really dangerous word, but hopefully you understand what I'm saying there. Like, it's just we want to be very cautious in our approach, but your opinions, your feedback, all of those details, it's very important to us. It really is. You guys helped make EVERSPACE 1 what it is today, and we absolutely know that it's important to interact and take your feedback. And that's why we do these streams. That's why we have conversations with you. That's why I'm telling you, get in the Discord. It's so important. It's so good. So we'll keep those conversations alive. I'm going to do just a couple more questions, then I seriously got to go. Do you have a naming convention for space objects, like Freelancer within the 4 regions? The systems are named after cities, battleships are named after rivers, etc. Talon 24. What a fantastic question. We actually do have naming conventions for our space objects. I can't give you the information about how we're doing those, but we have a very specific thematic approach to how we address all of the locations you'll be exploring. So, what a great question. That's such a pleasant question. Great. Okay. Could you use it for... All right. Guys, that's it. That's the stream. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and asking all those questions. You guys are rock stars. Seriously, thank you so much. It has really been my pleasure. I'm going to jump over to the screen one more time. Make sure you get into that Discord. Follow us at Rockfish Games and Everspace_game on the Twitter. And obviously the Kickstarter link is that lower right. We are in the home stretch, boys and girls. We got 10 days left. If you liked anything about what you saw and you want to be a part of this development, guys, get on the Kickstarter. This opportunity is closing soon. You will not be able to be a part of this development if you do not jump in on the Kickstarter that's happening right now. Get on it. Otherwise, guys, I have been Eric Schrader, Community Ambassador for Rockfish Games. You guys have been awesome. I will hopefully catch you in the next stream, which will be next Wednesday, right here on the Rockfish Games YouTube, Twitch, and Steam channels. Toodles.